What's up everyone, Sigs here, and today we have part 5 in a series where I show you some really cool Pokemon card singles that I picked up from TCG Player this week. As someone who just recently got back into Pokemon card collecting after more than 20 years, largely due to seeing some of the amazing card artwork in YouTube videos, I wanted to give back and continue that trend in the hopes that you can see some unique cards that you didn't know existed, or maybe forgot about, that you might want to add to your own collection. If you're into this kind of thing, there'll be a link in the description to a playlist containing all of my Pokemon TCG videos, but for today's video, we're going to take a look at these 10 cards. So first up, we have 3 cards that are quite a bit more rare and a little bit more expensive, and these 4 are much cheaper cards, but they all still look really cool, especially for the price, and the last 3 is kind of a grab bag of different art styles at various price points. So jumping right into it with the first card, this is one that you may have seen before, but I'm sure you've never seen it in this much detail, and in glorious 4K resolution, we have the Alakazam EX from Scarlet and Violet 1-51. I paid $38 for this special illustration rare, and it features this amazing confetti foil pattern that you can see there across the card, and it really pops in the light too. A great contrast between the holographic background and the matte finish of the Alakazam, and what I really like about this card is this textured finish. You can see each individual floor beam has its own directional textured inlay, really adding to the depth of the card. Just so much detail going on with all these individual patterns striking the bricks, the shelves in the back, Alakazam themselves, and I'll get you in real close in 4K as steady as possible so that you can see this really unique artwork on this special illustration rare, and there you go. That's our first card, a bit more of a pricey one, but with all of these cool effects, I think you can see why. Next up, we have a pair of cards with a very cool art style, and the first one that we're going to take a look at is this Zacian V. So this is an ultra rare from Crown Zenith's Galarian Gallery. I paid $15.79 for it, and it has this kind of traditional ray pattern going across the card, and what I really like about it is the way it pops in the light. That's some amazing coloring on this card, and additionally, it does have its own texture pattern you can see there, kind of going along with the swirls in the background. Zacian themselves having their own texture pattern as well, so a lot going on with this card. Get you in real close, in focus, so that you can see this art, a little bit of the texture and holographic coming through on this ultra rare, and there you go. So another card that's a little bit pricier, but if you like this Pokemon, or if you like this art style, it is a very good looking card. And you may be able to guess what this next card is, but it is the partner to Zacian. It is Zamazenta V. This is once again an ultra rare from Crown Zenith's Galarian Gallery. This one cost me $13.15. It does feature that same ray holographic pattern across the card, and I just love the color on this one. This mismatch of kaleidoscopic holographic colors contrasting wonderfully with the matte finish on Zamazenta themselves just looks marvelous to me. There is also great texturing on this card. You can see the way that there are individual texture lines on these little sparkles right here. I think just looks so cool. I'll show you the whole face of the card with the texturing there, and I'll get you in close in 4K as steady as possible to see this artwork. I find that often cards look very different in pictures than they do in person, and I think this is as close to what you're ever going to see this card looking like in person, other than seeing it in person yourself. So it should give you a good idea if that's a card that you might want to pick up. Now, these next few are a little bit cheaper, but that does not mean they are any less cool. And this one in particular, I am so excited to look at in 4K. It is the Lapras from the Classic Collection. It is a holo rare that I paid $2.97 for. And while it is the standard basic card frame, which is maybe not that exciting, look at this holo pattern. It does seem like the card arrived slightly curved, so I am getting a little bit of glare in there that I'd prefer to not have. Yeah, I don't want to bend the card too much, but you can really see this incredible holographic pattern that you don't see on a lot of cards. It's like the standard confetti pattern, but with the extra EX stars. It is just a lot going on, contrasting that shiny background with the matte finish on the Lapras. It does pop pretty well in the light as well, and I'll get you in close You can see the individual pixels of holo there in great detail. And because I like this one so much, I'll get you real close to see that holographic wiggle. So this is a cheap card, less than $3, but it features such a unique and cool foil pattern that it's something you may want to pick up to put in your binder or show off in other places. This next card is also pretty reasonably priced, coming in at $1.99. It is this Vibrava Illustration Rare. So this is from Surging Sparks. It is a more modern card, and it doesn't feature any crazy texturing, but it does have that Illustration Rare holo pattern with the rays coming across the card this way, and it does pop pretty well in the light, and I just think this is a cool artwork. To get an Illustration Rare card for less than $2, even if it's a Pokemon that you're not a huge fan of, this just looks so cool, such a nice nature scene. I'll take you in close. You can see this Vibrava just hanging out on this branch. Beautiful green leaves. I think that this is a great pickup for not a lot of money. And next up, we have something completely different than anything we've seen. Coming in at $3.30, we have an Alakazam EX. This is a shiny ultra rare from Paldean Fates, and as you can see, it is very, very shiny. This holographic rainbow pattern going all across the card. This guy pops amazingly in the light. I love the kind of cayenne blue stenciling around the frame of the Pokemon, and this one features its own texture pattern. So you can see these rings emanating from behind the Alakazam, the stars, the sparkles, all having their own little bit of texture. Really makes this card stand out in the right light. And I just think for a pretty cheap card of a very popular Pokemon, there is a lot going on. I mean, this thing just looks great. So another one you may want to pick up. And for our last cheap card for today, we have, for $2.50, this Frostmoth. This is from Astral Radiance's Trainer Gallery. It is an ultra rare, and it's similar to the Illustration Rare in that it's a full art card, but it doesn't feature that same foil pattern. Something you're not going to see in pictures when you compare these two cards is that this one has the ray pattern and this one just has the flat holographic pattern. So it's not quite as exciting, but the full art artwork is still great. These cards pop wonderfully in the light typically, as does this one. And one thing I do really like about it are the different finishes. You can see in Frostmoth's eyes there, the way that that holographic is shining against the matte finish of Frostmoth itself, making their eyes almost seem to glow. Very, very cool effect, and I do like that. So these Trainer Gallery cards are very cool forms of full art artworks, and a lot of them are pretty cheap, with this one again being only $2.50 at the time of recording. And these last three cards are a little bit of a grab bag. We have some very different stuff here. So first of all, we have Koga's Ditto. So this is from the Gym Challenge set. It is an unlimited holographic rare that I paid $44.99 for, and it may not be as exciting as some of the other cards with this standard card frame. There's not holo all over the place, but it does still have that really cool, sparkly holographic background behind the Ditto, and it does pop very well in the light. So this is a very popular Pokemon, and it is a pretty old card from right around the year 2000, I believe, that you are seeing in 4K 60 FPS right there. So pretty expensive card, maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but I do love these cards not only for the nostalgic appeal, but also the wonderful old school artwork and holographic pattern. And this is a great example of that if this is also something that you're into. And this next card is one that I think is very cool and has a lot going on for it. It is the Mew EX from the Celebrations Classic Collection, which I paid $7.35 for, and there's just a lot going on with this card. So first of all, you can see this oversized confetti splotch holographic pattern going all around the card, all the way to the edges in the frame of the card, contrasting with that matte finish on the Mew itself. It does pop very well in the light. The contrast between that green and the purple looks really good, and this card also has its own texture pattern. So there's just texture all over the place, all the way up to the edge of the card. You can see here, texture, and then this swirling radiant pattern emanating from behind Mew with its own texture pattern. And I just love the way that the eyes of Mew glow against the matte finish. Looks really good in the right light. So this card is very, very cool looking. There's so much going on between the holo, the texture, the color contrast, all looking great on a card that's not that expensive, all things considered. So if this is a card that you think looks as good as I do, might be one you might want to pick up. And for our last card for today, this is something I have seen people talking about quite a lot recently, but we're going to see it in great detail. It is the Greninja Gold Star promo. So this is a promo from Sword and Shield. I paid $13.99 for it, and it is a shiny version of a very popular Pokemon, which people like a lot. Unfortunately, this one came pretty curled, so it's going to be a little difficult to show off the hollow pattern just right, but you can see it has that classic lens flare bubble hollow pattern going on with the shiny background contrasting with the matte finish on the card, the foiling extending up to that gold star next to Greninja's name. So I'll get it nice and close, let you see this card as steady as possible, and there you go. So this is a pretty popular promo, not sure what it's going to do price-wise, but I'm just here to show you these cards and show off the artworks. So if you like that one, it could be worth picking up. But that's all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a quick thumbs up, as it will help other people who may also enjoy this video to find it. And feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. I still have hundreds more cards to go through, so stay tuned for more videos featuring all kinds of artworks at all kinds of price points. And let me know down in the comments which one of these cards from today's video was your absolute favorite. I hope you saw at least one or two cards that were cool to you, something that you didn't know existed or maybe you forgot about, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing them in as much detail as I could possibly provide. So I've been Sigs, but for now I'm out of here, so thanks for watching, hope you have a good one, take care, peace.